Hi everyone, how are you doing today? I'm coming at you with my February TBR for not one, but two readathons. Let's go. The first readathon that I discovered for February was the Olympics-a-thon that is hosted by the fantastic Clumsy Charlotte, and I really am not going to go into too much detail on either of these, otherwise this video is going to be too long and I don't have the time or the battery for that. This one is going to be from I think the 4th to the 20 something of February, which is when the Winter Olympics is taking place. It's so fantastic because there's kind of like an easy and hard mode on it. Easy mode is just the basic prompts, and then hard mode there's some extra prompts that are more challenging and involve a lot more intense reading. Her intro video was fantastic. She had like the Olympics music, she lit her own Olympics torch ceremony thing, and it just looked really funny and really cool, and all of her graphics are like really well done as well. There's a Discord channel that's been very active so far and it's got loads of suggestions for prompts. I actually need to add a couple of my suggestions in there at some point. And yeah, it just looks really good, and everything's kind of based around the Olympics and the Winter Olympics in particular. For your teams, you are representing a country of your choice. I went with Team GB just because, I don't know, I am GB, so I thought I'd represent my home country. I have done a spread in my journal for both of these readathons that I'll be talking about. So if you would like to see a very quick video of me flipping through these spreads, let me know. Otherwise, if you go onto Twitter, I think I've uploaded on there. So the basic prompts for the Winter Olympics-a-thon. There are 5 of these. And you've got a book with a winter setting, a book featuring sports, a book related to the country you're representing, a book related to the host country, which is China, and then a book with disability representation, which obviously represents the Paralympics. And then the sort of the challenge and the step up on that. So with these ones, you can count the books that you read in the main challenge. So if the 5 books that you read are all set on different continents, you've already achieved the 5 continents prompt. 5 different continents. So speaks for itself, read books that are set in a country in 5 different continents. A book with 5 colours on the cover. So the Olympic rings are blue, black, red, green and yellow. So read a book that features all of those colours. 5 translated books. And then a book with foiling on the cover, which represents the medals, so the gold, silver, bronze. I do have a series of books picked out that I will go through with the others on. And then the second readathon is the Sims readathon, hosted Ashley's Reads. And this one's really fun because it's all based off the original Sims game. So for those of you who may or may not know, I am a huge Sims geek. I've been playing since I was about 14 years old, so about 2005. The game came out, I think, in 2002 or something like that. So I did start with Sims 1, and I am a bit of a Sims bitch. So this was definitely one for me. In this one, we have the teams are the families. So you've got Team Landgrab, Team Pleasant, Team Newbie, Team Goth, and I can't remember the last one, but I'm in Team Pleasant because that was always the family that I used to play. And for this one, we have another fantastic Discord channel that's been really good, and the team leaders have all been really fun, and everything on there has been great so far. And for this, all of the prompts are based around the expansions of the original game. There are 8 standard prompts, and then there's 1 team prompt. And the standard prompts, we have Sims Vacation, which is a book featuring a journey or trip. Sims Unleashed, which is an animal. Sims Superstar, which is a famous main character. Making Magic, which is a fantasy. The Base Game, which is a reread, Living Large, which is over 500 pages, House Party, featuring multiple point of views, and Hot Date, which is a romance. So you've got a really, really good mix of prompts in there, and I like they've got genre prompts as well. And then you've got Team Pleasant is a book with strong family ties. Again, this is one that I'm really looking forward to. When it came to picking my books, I tried to pick books that I could read for both readathons, and I thought that was going to be quite difficult, but it turns out I managed to do it, and it wasn't as bad as I thought. So what I'm going to do is, rather than go through individual prompts, I'm going to go through the books and tell you which prompt from each of the readathons I've picked that book for. And then there are also a couple of extra books as well. Obviously I've got my physical books here, and then I've also got some audio and ebooks. So these are the physical books that I'm about to drop. Okay, so had to adjust slightly because my phone battery nearly died, so I had to go and run and grab my charger, which means I had to re-record a couple of bits, but hey, it's fine. I'm starting with Angel Fall by Susan E. And for The Sims, this is my base prompt choice, which is a reread. And for the Winter Olympics-a-thon, if I do the continent challenge, the 5 continents challenge, this will be my pick for North America. And yeah, this is a dystopian where basically the angels are the bad guys and returned to the earth and have basically enslaved all of humankind and destroyed the world as they know it. And then you've got Penryn, who ends up teaming up with an angel who she witnesses having his wings cut off. His name is, I never remember if it's Rafe, Raph or Raffi. If anyone knows, please let me know in the comment. And yeah, they have to team together to basically try and save her sister who's been kidnapped, and also to try and put the earth back to rights. So that is my pick for that. Next up we have Crazy Rich Asians by Kevin Kwan. I picked this up a couple of weeks ago for my birthday. I got it for 25p at a charity shop, so bargain. And this one is the romance prompt for the Sims readathon, but also because I'm waiting for Daughter of the Sun Moon Goddess to arrive from Waterstones, and I'm not sure if it will arrive or if I've had to cancel the order, still waiting on that. This is also my backup option for the 5 colours on the cover prompt. And this is, you've got a couple who she is not aware that he is actually from one of the wealthiest families in, is it? I don't really know. Singapore. Yeah. And basically they go on holiday to visit his family, and she then learns that he's from this super rich, super elite family, and she kind of feels like she doesn't fit in. She's now trying to navigate that world. So it's not anything that I would normally go for, but you know, 25p, and I know a lot of people love this book and the film and stuff, so I will give it a go. Next up, we have The Bright and the Pale by Jessica Rubinkovsky, and this is set in a fantasy kingdom that has a curse placed on it, I believe. Let me just double check. Yeah, so everyone is trapped in a sheet of ice, and she's been on the run, but now it's kind of like her journey of trying to get everything back. And obviously this is set in a wintry place and is set in winter, and it's all cold and icy. So this fits the prompt for the winter readathon for the winter setting. It is not one of my choices for the Sims readathon, so this one is just for the winterathon. So this is probably going to be my first read. Next up we have a double whammy. So I'm going to be finishing a series in February. Woo, go me! I started this in 2020 with A Curse So Dark and Lonely, and I'm finishing it with both A Heart So Fierce and Broken and A Vow So Bold and Deadly. These 2 books both fit in the winter readathon, but only one of them, which will be A Heart So Fierce and Broken, fits into the Sims readathon. And so for A Heart So Fierce and Broken, For the Sims readathon, it fits the fantasy prompt, and for the winter readathon, this is my pick for the medals prompt, so featuring foiling on the cover, and it does have silver foiling, and it has these beautiful iridescent holographic holochromatic spines, so that is my choice for those. And then just for the winter Olympics-a-thon, here's a Vow So Bold and Deadly, and for this one I've picked it for the disability rep because Harper herself is disabled, and from what I understand the second book focuses on another character and doesn't really feature Harper and Ren as like the main characters, whereas the third book does feature them a lot more, so that's why I've chosen this for the disability rep. She has multiple sclerosis, if I remember rightly, and as I said, will finish that trilogy for me. The next up is Silver Silence by none other than Nalini Singh. I've been trying to reread her Psy Changeling series, but unfortunately, because of the impromptu moving, half of her books have ended up in storage at my dad's, and only a few ended up here with me. And unfortunately, the ones that ended up here are all the ones from the end of the first arc and the start of the second. So it's kind of put a bit of a stopper on restarting the whole series. I was on book 4, but I decided for the animal prompt for the Sims readathon and for the 5 continents prompt on the winter readathon, because this will feature Oceania because the author is from New Zealand. This features changelings and it's bears, so it's my favourite group of changelings, and I think this is one of my favourite books in the series, so I am very much looking forward to going back to Valentin and Silver and their story because it's so cute. In February, I am hoping to not only finish 1 series, but 2. Yes, I am going for the Overachiever Award. And the second series that I want to finish is Chloe Gong's Violent Delights series. So we had These Violent Delights. This is the second in the duology with Our Violent Ends. Not gonna lie, I'm kind of scared to get into this one because I got very confused very easily on the first one. I'm still not quite sure what happened, and I'm also scared about a couple of characters. I don't care about the main characters very much, to be honest, but I do care about some of the side characters who I am worried for. This is Gangs set in Shanghai featuring a Romeo and Juliet retelling, and I'm not going to say much more than that because obviously this is the second book and I don't want to spoil anything from the first book. Okay, my filming has been really cruel to me today. It just does not want to work. So I'm gonna... Okay, I think I actually got to the last book for physical books. So, moving on to the audio books, we have, first of all, The Night Raven by Sarah Painter. This is another one that's kind of based around gangs, and it has this idea of someone who left the gang and has now kind of been dragged back and now has to uncover this mystery while navigating all these different families that are warring against each other. And so for this one, I've chosen this as my Team Pleasant pick for the Sims readathon. So it's based all around family and family ties. And for the Olympics-a-thon, this one is representing my host nation of GB because this is set in London, and it also is part of the 5 continents challenge because this is set in Europe. It's actually a triple whammy, this book, which is awesome. And then the second audiobook is my final book in the Sims readathon, and that is Shadow of the Fox by Julie Kagawa. I don't know anything about it. I can't remember why I like the look of it, but I love the look of the cover and I really enjoyed the blurb, but I can't remember what the blurb says. So I can't tell you. All I can say is that this is the multiple points of view prompt on the Sims readathon, and yeah, the audiobook itself also has multiple actors doing the narrations, so I'm really looking forward to that. I've only actually read one book that has more than one narrator and I loved it, so I'm hoping to read a few more books like that this year, starting with this. And then the final book is an ebook and is the final book for the Winter Olympics-a-thon, and that is City of Brass, because it is the final book for the 5 Continents Challenge. It's the Africa, because it is set in Egypt. And again, for this, I can't really remember anything. I believe the main character summons a djinn. I could be getting my books completely mixed up, but I'm fairly sure that this is the one where she summons a djinn and all sorts of chaos ensues. And yeah, this one I'm probably not going to get to because it's part of the jumbo bonus super prompts, and I've already got quite a lot of books to try and get through for the Winter Olympics-a-thon, but we shall see, and I will do my best. Are you taking part in either of these readathons? If you are, what team are you in? And are you also reading any of these books this month? Maybe we could team up or just have a chat at some point about where we're both at on the books and just sort of bounce ideas off each other. That would be fantastic. I'm also hoping to maybe do some annotating this month. I'm going to give it another go and try doing some book annotations again. So let me know in the comments, what are you most looking forward to reading in February? For me, I'm looking forward the most to The Bright and the Pale, because it's very different to the usual sort of books that I read, in that I tend to not really be into polar fantasies, but I do want to try a few more and see if it was just like that particular author that I didn't get on with, or if it is, I'm just not a big fan of that genre. Yeah, I'm really excited. It will give me a nice distraction. I may be going back to work full time, so we shall see how I balance reading with working full time. But, you know, I'll get to that when I get to that. I will also be starting some midweek Wednesday reading sprints as well on my channel. I'm going to be calling them the midweek reading slump sprints, because we all go through a bit of a midweek hump, we all go through a midweek slump, so let's get some reading done and try and boost ourselves back up again. So I will be starting those on the first week of February, so next week. Wow. And yeah, let me know in the comments what you think, and I hope you're good, I hope you're staying safe, and until the next time, I will see you later. Bye.